Today we're going to talk about tendons and what you can do about them. All right, so first of all, a tendon is where the muscle attaches to the bone. So it's the interface between the two. It's really the end of the muscle. And one of its jobs is to absorb force and create some recoil. So your body will respond to whatever type of training you put into those tissues. So let's take two examples. So like a sprinter, someone who does more fast type of training, more explosive type training, and your average gym goer, which tends to do more slow controlled motions. So here we go. Tendons, muscles, training style right here. So if you are a sprinter, do fast training, the tendon is going to develop a lot of stiffness and strength, and in comparison, the muscles are going to tend to be a little weaker, right? It's hard to do box jumps with 150 pounds on your back, so the muscle itself tends to be underdeveloped compared to the tendon, and vice versa. If you're more of a gym goer doing sort of slow, controlled movements, you're going to tend to put a lot less stimulus into the tendon, so it's going to be weaker compared to the muscle. So the muscle is going to tend to be stronger and stiffer. So when you put strain through the area, the tissue that gets injured is the one that's more vulnerable. So let's picture this. You've got muscle on this side, tendon on this side. If the tendon's stiff, right, the muscle is going to take most of the stretch on, or most of the force. If the muscle is stiffer, converse is true, then the tendon becomes more vulnerable. So what you see is, and this is pretty typical, is some sprinters will get more of a muscle injury, whereas your typical gym goer gets more of a tendon strain. So what do we do about this? So one of the things is, if this is your Achilles, right, and this is your heel, and say you've got a damaged area, so a strain. Maybe over here is strained, right? So think of this as like a rock in the river. The river doesn't stop flowing, you still transmit force, it just goes around it, like this. So it protects this area. This is called stress shielding, when the tendon produces force around the injured part. So what we found is that through isometrics, you want to stimulate this area. You can do it through isometrics. So if you do about a 30-second hold, about 80% of this tissue starts to fatigue and then relax. Then you put that stimulus to grow through that area because you want that collagen to start to build in a line right there. So an isometric is, if I was using my bicep for example, it's under tension, it's flexed, but nothing is moving, it's not going through motion. So I'm going to do some videos on some things you can do for, say, a tennis or golfer's elbow.